Okay. Hi.
Hello.
Day 97. You're not in there at all. There you go.
We're sitting in the dark.
Well, sort of in the dark. So, you can hear, I don't know if you guys can hear the music in the background, but like, there's a wedding here tonight. And it looked like an American, maybe marrying a Liberian. But they are like DJing it up, dancing. It was like a really pretty wedding on the beach.
It was really
Very
pretty.
small, probably like 30 people. But now they're partying, so.
Yeah, the Tropicana did a really good job setting up.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really pretty.
Yeah.
So yeah, we watched the bride walk by our door with her parents, and I guess it was her parents.
Yeah, I feel like they're cheering section. Let's go.
Yeah.
Good job.
We watched. The kids were like, "What's happening?" There's all these people at the pool too, so they just kind of walked by all the screaming, jumping around kids to the beach to get married. So seems like it's going well. It looks nice. So we are over $4,000 for the solar panels.
Woo!
Just over $4,000. We just got one more noonday purchase, so still a couple more days to shop for noonday. Since we have enough to go buy the solar panels, we're gonna go buy them. So if you're gonna buy something and you haven't yet, go ahead and just do it. Get those Mother's Day gifts done. And thank you again to Paige and Rico for doing a video last night. It was so funny. Jeremy and I stayed up late watching them because you guys are 4 hours ahead of us Eastern time, so.
Yeah, Albert sent me in a potential invoice or whatever.
Yeah. He'll negotiate with them once, but it was like $3,000 for installation and everything we need. And then we'll be able to spend another $500 on our deep freezer, hopefully.
So
and
it
then
was
we'll
a little higher than what we had thought, but
installation was
we're
less.
way over. Yeah, installation was like $50. I was like, really? I was like, are you sure?
And he may have added some more equipment when I told him how much we we want them to have running water, them to have a deep freezer, and then we may either get them like a washing machine to wash the clothes, or maybe like a refrigerator. I think a refrigerator would probably be better.
Yeah, maybe we'll ask Albert what he thinks.
We'll see what he wants to do, but he was really excited.
He was.
He actually called Jeremy on the phone today, which talking on the phone to Liberians is a little challenging. Partly because the phone signal will go in and out, and then partly just because there is like a language barrier. Like they'll call it Bassa, but they speak Liberian English, but it's not the same as our English. If they slow it down, it's okay, but.
And over the phone, if there's a delay in the phone, it's like really hard. It's a nightmare, so.
Yeah, it's just not quite as clear, so. But he was excited.
So Nelson tried to call me today when I was out and about away from our Wi-Fi, and it's impossible.
Yeah.
So we just texted.
So Jeremy went with Emmanuel by himself today, so they went to the China Mall. Jeremy's worried about our water filter dying.
It's close.
So.
It's really.
But like, he bought this water filter at like the China Mall, and I'm like, there's no reviews, there's no like inspection, there's no health regulation, and I'm like, I really just, unless our filter completely breaks, I really just think we're gonna be leaving that in the box.
It'll stop soon.
So, yeah. And they said like ours should last for like 5,000 liters unless there's a high amount of metal, then it'll go quicker.
Yeah, and like if you take the tab out of the top, it's already like super brown,
So you might want to bring two. You might want to bring, so like if you're a large, well, nobody's going to be here as long as us anyway, hopefully, so. Yeah. So there's that. So we had a good day. So you went to the China Mall and got some stuff for our 7-year-old will be 8 soon. So, and then you went to the pharmacy and just bought your prescription medicine, right?
I did. It's like, hey, do you
Jeremy's
guys,
like, do you have any omeprazole?
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, I'll take it. He's like, $10. I'm like, okay.
For like a month.
I'm like, what about this? He's like, yeah, $10. I'm like, well, this is easy.
Nice, yeah.
This is easy.
Yeah. Probably can't get our kids, like, that's that way, but that was pretty good, because we were trying to decide, like, maybe he needs to go home and come back, but if you can just buy it, it gives us a little more time. After 6 months, we have to leave anyway and come back, but by then we'll probably just buy us a piece of property here. So, what else? So you sat in traffic forever, right? Because they're still working on the road.
Man, I was so mad at Liberia today.
Saturdays are the worst day for driving around. So like, if you come to Liberia, like, don't make plans on Saturday.
This is not a Saturday issue. This is the fact that they.
But most of the time on Saturday, it is busier.
It was literally two lanes on the busiest road. They've blocked everything off. So it was like one going toward Monrovia and the other one going toward the airport. And then
It's really just one road. Like, there's not a lot
but
of...
it's like 6 lanes wide when it's all open, but it was
Yeah.
like 2 lanes. And then it was just a traffic directing nightmare. And there was like 4 broken down cars. There was a bus that was like
Just gave up.
one of the tires was blown.
Like, he had to change his clothes when he got back home because he smelled like exhaust fumes from being... Even though he was inside the car and they roll up the windows and everything... But, like, it doesn't matter because their air quality here is so poor, and they're doing so much paving and graveling, and they literally spray the paved roads with water almost on a daily basis just to keep the dust down.
It took us 45 minutes to go 3 miles.
And I'm sure when it starts the rainy season comes, they won't be able to work on it at all, and they're not even close to done. So.
They're actually putting down asphalt today.
But, like, he got back home, and I was like, you're going to have to
Did you hear
change
me?
your clothes. Yeah.
So hopefully they'll get it moved past our turn.
Like, the smell was so strong today, I was like, when he got back home, he had to change his clothes.
Yes.
Which is gross. But he breaded the chicken tonight. It was so good. And I felt like it was more. Like, I felt like it was more filling, all the breading. Just like pancake mix and an egg. Some seasonings.
I still didn't use any seasonings. I just used pancake mix and an egg and
some corn and some rice.
Put it in the fridge for a while, and then I fried it in a skillet.
That's what Miss Prosser used to tell me the secret to her chicken was years ago when I worked at the Hermitage House. She could get it breaded overnight. You gotta leave it in the fridge overnight.
Yeah.
And then bread it again.
That's hard. That's the last thing I
like
want
do
to do
it.
right now.
Put it in the fridge overnight, and then bread it again, and then fry it. She sold a lot of chicken. God rest her soul. So, a lot of families that are either adopting from Liberia or have adopted from Liberia that threw in on the Noonday Show. I really, really appreciate you guys. Can't tell you how much I appreciate you. It's helping Noonday, providing jobs to developing countries all over the world in a fair trade environment that's not like charity, but it's just a business deal. And then, of course, helping our kids here. You know, the better we can care for the kids in Liberia, the more kids they can take care of. So, no news in our adoption. But, I mean, I think, you know, we don't know if we're going to hear something soon or hear something in months. But, I mean, we've just kind of settled into our role here, and we've just kind of accepted it. There's stages of grief. I think I'm to the acceptance phase.
I'll never be to the acceptance phase of this ridiculousness. But
it's not okay with me that it's happening, but I have accepted it as the truth that we're living. And then, you know, James 1:27 says, I like the New Living Translation version the best. Pure and genuine religion in the sight of God the Father is caring for widows and orphans in their distress and refusing to let the world corrupt you. And there's, like, not that anyone's trying to corrupt us at all, I guess. Maybe people are, but most people are like, when are you coming home? When are you coming home? When are you coming home? And I'm like, I'm not coming home without my kids. And I don't know for sure how long I'll be able to stay here. I just know that, like, unless I legally have to leave, I'm not leaving without my kids. One of us may have to go home and come back to take care of some things at home or refill some medications or, you know, deal with things there, sell a car.
Come up with an income
You
plan.
know, rent our house out, something. But I mean, these are our kids. Like, you wouldn't leave your kids. And we're not going to leave them. So we miss them. We're ready for them to just be living here. And we think that'll happen soon. But, I mean, our case may get sent to USIS, to the U.S. Immigration Office. And we're not just going to take them back to the orphanage and say, see ya. And we're definitely not going to leave the orphanage in the state that we found it. We've been asking for months how we could help. And I think from the agency director standpoint, the best way we can help is just to adopt a kid. But now that we're here, we're able to get more specifics and ask more boldly and be like, I see that you need this. Can I do this for you? And just kind of breaking down those barriers of, like, we really can help. Even though we're spending thousands on our adoption, that doesn't mean that God is limited to just that for us, you know. Like, you guys are helping, you know, with so many things. But I think whenever I'm in this place of, like, we're in the midst of a conflict that we cannot resolve. We're here with our other kids that are actually, they're doing great. They're doing a lot better than I thought they would do. They're running out of things to watch on Netflix from the Netflix we're borrowing, but
Thanks, Ernest.
you know, they're getting there, and they're not really that irritated. They just miss the dog. But but when you're in the midst of a conflict we can't resolve, it's just nice to do something pure and genuine. And getting them running water and power all the time, and like better food choices, and better just stocking their medicine cabinet, painting their walls. Like, this is orphan care, and this is the gospel at its core. To speak for those that can't speak for themselves, to offer a rescue plan to those that can't save themselves. And what greater calling?
Yeah, I was sharing a screenshot of my browsing on Facebook for the MOG, and I was like, a couple days ago they had a visit with the
MOG is the Ministry of Gender, Families, like Child Welfare.
Yeah.
And it's like DCF here. And
they had a visit with the British ambassador.
Yeah.
And it was like one of their meetings was to discuss the Liberian street children, because apparently they have a title. There's so many of them. I was like, what helps that is adoption. So
yeah, and hopefully that will come up in some of their things. But one thing about Liberia is they don't have a budget for their orphans or their children that are parentless, that are living on the streets. And you'll see kids selling bread. I mean, you'll see them, like, you see these kids. I know in Honduras we used to drive through and see them living in the dump, which is ridiculous. But it happens. It happens here too. These kids are barely making it. You'll hear some of the adults that they remember their childhood, and like one of the adults that we've gotten to be friends with here, he was like, had I known there was such a thing as an orphanage, I would have gone and checked myself in, just because growing up is so hard. And although Liberia is better today than it was, when he was a child 30 years ago, they got a long way to go, but they don't have a budget for their kids. And that's one thing America, I think, does better at is, we do have the capability to provide help for people, but keep leaning out of the camera.
I haven't moved from side to side.
But you have. Mm-hmm. We could play it back. It's recorded.
I did move now.
You're just leaning out.
But I think the budget comes from us families that are sending them money to do the work that they should be doing. So.
Well, we don't send them that much money. I mean, they need to do the work for the adoptions that they're doing, but they need a separate budget and a separate focus on their children that are living in poverty on the streets without parents. Those are the street children. Those are the children that are being turned away.
Yep.
So it's pretty sad. I have wanted to kind of go tour the Elwha Hospital, but I'm afraid if I go, I will never leave. If I go to that hospital, I don't think I'll ever be able to bring myself to leave this place. Because I've heard that kids die there every day. Every single day. And like, I work at an ER, and sometimes we'll have kids that'll die. Not often. Because the death rate in the U.S. for a kid is low. Very low. Because we're good at taking care of our kids. So now, not always are parents honest about the resources that they're able to use, and not always does those budgetary decisions land in the right hands. But by and large, we have a welfare system that makes sure that, for the most part, people shouldn't be hungry, and we have communities that also support that. So I was thinking about like Paige's job with Blessings in a Backpack, sending food home with the kids, and like our church, anytime our church hears about somebody that needs something, they just send somebody to the grocery store, or give them a gift card for stuff. So I think as Americans, we're more capable to help each other. But we got to model that better here. So, but it's been fun. I never would have thought $4,000. Like, I set a $2,500 goal, and I thought that was kind of lofty. And I thought it would take us the whole month to get it. We're sitting at 4,000 in 7 days.
I'm really proud of you. I think you did a good job.
I'm really proud of everybody that helped. Like, some of these adoptive families that are probably facing like huge legal bills and everything,
Yeah.
Some of the ones that threw in, like, and then asked their church and asked their, like, I don't want to mention all their names. I don't want to like embarrass them, but like, I mean, and some of the families that are already home with their kids that had to live in Liberia for a while too, they're throwing in. And then people that have been here before, they threw in for sure. So we appreciate it. What adds up the most is like the $30 or like the $50 New Day purchase. Like those commissions, I'm donating all those commissions 100% to this cause. But like, you're gonna buy those presents anyway, those Mother's Day presents, or if you've been hankering for something new for yourself. I really want that sun-kissed tote. I keep looking at it. I can't buy anything because I'm in Liberia. It gives me a warning every time I log into the New Day site that I'm in another country that may not honor USD.
You get that a lot in different apps.
I'm
It's
like, is my
funny.
VPN not on?
I never noticed.
How do they know? Because my VPN's on.
You know, YouTube TV knew that no matter what I had connected, they wouldn't let it work.
It's because they're connected to the Google Maps.
They know they're watching.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say?
No, we'll see you tomorrow, Sunday.
I was talking today. I was like, the most exciting thing that's going to happen to me today is that I'm probably going to take a shower. But I haven't done that yet. And the most exciting thing that really happened was Jeremy's breading of the chicken.
It's funny.
Oh, and I finished a dragon.
I did feel better getting out and about today with Emmanuel, although
I finished my dragon. My wings didn't match because I'm crocheting and I'm following directions, but it doesn't always work.
That's really cool. Emmanuel and I
This is Delilah.
we didn't talk at all.
I'm going to make Samson. I think Samson and Delilah are the dragons. I need some more yarn. I haven't found yarn here
Is
yet.
it bad when your driver puts his headphones in?
You guys are both so introverted. He has his headphones in sometimes too. He's like so gonna miss us too.
He did tell me that.
Nelson, man, he said it was quiet riding with you versus riding with me.
Well, yeah.
So that's the thing. Extroverts, they always want to fill the background. Introverts, they're okay with this quiet. But you were a little you maybe wanted it to be a little louder.
Not with Emmanuel.
No, you like the dull roar of our family though.
That's true.
You're gonna go try to steal from the open bar at the wedding.
I may go see if I can just dance around. Hey,
They were playing good songs earlier, and now they're back to their techno.
I played Landslide.
It's like the 90s. It's like 90s, early 2000s, like techno stuff. And I'm like,
But they did play Landslide.
They
which
played
was
John
cool.
Denver. Follow me.
I don't think I know that one.
It's weird. It's a really popular song. I'm surprised. You probably do. I'm probably just not singing it right. They sang some John Legend, and the noise, the music quality sounded better than normal. So maybe they upgraded.
Really turn the volume up.
Can you hear it? You want to dance? You can shoulder dance a little. You can play your guitar. I think you should play like 3 strums on your guitar before we end the video.
But it's gonna be out of tune.
No.
Girls, be quiet. These kids are so
Oh,
loud.
he just yells at him. They told Jeremy that I was the bossy one though,
I gotta.
and it made him mad.
I
He's
gotta
like,
up my game.
"What do you mean, Mommy's the bossy one?" But it was just because one of my kids was trying to get her way, and he was like, well, Mommy said no, and she's like, "Why do you always let her be bossy to us?"
And you guys.
It's pretty manipulative of her, and he's like, "Why is she? I'm not the bossy one. I'm not the stern one either."
You don't think so?
I mean, I think my tone may sound more, but when it comes down to it, I say yes a whole lot more than you do.
No.
So Jeremy got this little Yamaha guitar that he's probably just going to give to someone when we leave. But he is so much happier now that he has it. We don't care if you play out of tune, baby.
That sounds awful.
What'd you say Dixon called you?
Renaissance man.
Renaissance man. My brother's called you that before, too.
Oh.
Is it out of town? I told him, we've joked about him sitting outside our room with just like a basket and just starting to play the music and seeing if these guys that are always trying to buy stuff, get us to buy stuff, give him some money. It's a good little guitar. Like when he went in to buy this guitar, I'm like, I hope I see him again. Because it was that hole in the wall. Literal.
Yep.
That sounds good. Are you happier? Happy Renaissance man. You gonna sing your Liberia song?
No. I forgot how it goes.
On a long dusty road in Liberia.
I have to come up with some chords.
Praying my kids don't get malaria. Living with all the hysteria. Just alone on the streets of Liberia.
Yeah. That's about right.
That was pretty funny.
Wrote a song about it. Like to hear it? Here it goes.
I'm glad you're cheered up. All right, day 97. Anything else?
Nope. 97.
Delilah says goodbye.
Goodbye, Delilah.